Okay, so I'm in the bathroom. Hopefully you guys can hear me better. So, long story short, in regards to that, is that I had like a burger in my hand and I was like eating it. So the bitch smacked the burger out my hand. They were both all up in my face, and I'm just telling them, y'all need to relax. Like, I'm not trying to scout your house. I was just checking out your pool, and she like mushed me, and that was that. She was like, bitch, if you ever come by my house, I'll fuck you up. I'll have you fucked up, whatever. So I also remember being in Jersey, and I remember being in Jersey, running around. I got into it. Oh yeah, that's what I wrote. So I got into it with people. I was looking around. I was so hot, needed water. You know, I was trying to take a dip in people's pools. And then I came across this fountain. You know, like those big ass water fountains. So I came across that, and then I actually got butt down naked and went inside the fountain. A security, I don't know if he was a security or a police, but first some guy came and took a picture of me. So I don't know where that picture is at today or what he has done with that picture. But that picture is out there. If y'all ever see a picture of me naked in some like pool or some like fountain shit, yes, I'm telling you that I did do it. I was not in my right state of mind. I think it was a security guard. So some security guard from the building where the fountain was at, he actually came up to me and he was like, ma'am, you cannot do this. So you have to get up and get dressed. So I got up, I got dressed, and then I left. I also found a bike, and I started to literally ride the bike on the highway because I was trying. All of this is a fucking summary. All of these parts. Well, this part right here is from when I did find a bike and I started riding it on the highway, and then a police seen me and he rammed his car because he was telling me to stop the bike, pull over, whatever. I wasn't listening. In my mind, I'm trying to get back to New York because I'm trying to get to my daughter, right? And so the police is like, okay, she's not listening. I have to stop this girl. So he rammed his fucking car into me. I fell over. He tackles me on the floor on the highway. Some white guy got out of his car and helped the police tackle me on the floor. I'm screaming, I'm pregnant, right? Because I'm scared. So I'm screaming, I'm pregnant. You're gonna kill my baby. I wasn't really pregnant. They took me to like a holding cell or whatever. It wasn't a prison. It was like a holding cell. And I was there, the whole time I was there, I was praying because I thought that they were going to unalive me. I was telling them that I need to get back to New York. I'm trying to get to my daughter. You guys have to release me. So they tell me, where did you get this bike from? And I said, I don't know. You know, I just found this bike when I was, you know, walking around or whatever. I'm from New York. I need to get back to New York. I said, you guys can have the bike. That's not my bike. Please, somebody help me get back to New York? So I think they did drop me off somewhere to help me get back to New York, but I don't think that necessarily happened. My feet were so bruised and blistered from walking around every fucking where, y'all. And then I met some lady at a gas station trying to get some food. And she couldn't give me no food, but she did give me a pair of shoes because she could see that my shoes were fucked up. So shout out to her. I don't know her name or anything like that. But that was God. That was God right there as well, because imagine you walking from this to that. You're walking in neighborhoods and areas that you have no idea. You're just walking. You cannot get on the bus because the bitch won't stop for the bus. You don't have a car. You don't have money for an Uber. And you're just walking. My feet were so fucked up. If y'all can see my feet today, my feet look nothing like what the fuck I've been through. My shits was fucked up, yo. And that's, I only got through all of this by the grace of God. You need to hear me this. So the lady gave me the shoes, but then we like separated, and I was sad because I thought we were gonna like, me and the lady was gonna hang out for a little while. God said, no, that's it, that's the end of you guys' journey. So we separated. She went this way, I went this way. That was the end of that. I also remember sleeping outside in hallways, benches, etc. Because I thought, in my mind, I thought I was like homeless. Meanwhile, I haven't been homeless since early 2020s. You know, I got my apartment when I was 22, turning 23. That was 10 years ago. I haven't been homeless since I was in a shelter back in the Disney, you know, when I got my first apartment. So I don't know why I was so paranoid to the point where that's what I thought, you know. But it definitely had to be done playing around in those dark arts and, you know, everything that I said in the beginning as well. I thought the police was chasing me. I met another girl. She was so cool. Oh my God, I met this girl out of Philly. When I was trying to get back to New York, she was standing at the bus stop that takes the people from Philly to New York. And I met her, me and her, we started talking. And then, yeah, this is crazy. And then, you know, she starts telling me her situation. So then I start telling her, now all of a sudden this bitch wants to drill and shit like that. These spiritual warfares is something else, I'm telling you. So I start telling her my story, and then I'm like, where are you going? She's like, oh, I'm going to New York. And then I'm like, oh shit, I'm trying to get back to New York. I'm like, can I ride with you? She's like, yeah, but you need a ticket for the bus. I didn't have no money. I didn't have nothing. So then she's like, look, I don't have an extra ticket. I don't got extra money, you know. But just ask the bus driver if you just tell him, like, say, can you please get on? And she encouraged me, you know, to ask. You don't know. He may say yes, and by the grace of God, I'm telling you, I've only been able to get through each part of this situation in my life by the grace of God. Because if it wasn't for him, I would have never made it, y'all. Some people don't make it out of this shit. There's some people that get unalived by going through a spiritual psychosis. They don't make it through. I made it through. So let me tell you. So I remember the bus driver. He was this like pale complected guy. I think he was up with a bald head, and he was in very high spirits. And I remember asking him, "Excuse me, sir, I'm really trying to get back to New York. I'm from New York. I kind of like lost my way, and I don't have any money for the bus. But I promise you, if you allow me to ride this bus so I can get back home, I'm trying to get back to my daughter. I would not cause any problems on this bus. I would sit and be peaceful and just enjoy the ride. If you can please help me." He says, okay, ma'am, give me a second. Let me make sure that everybody gets on. Let me make sure that we have enough room, and then I'll let you know. Everybody went on. There was still some extra seats, and he says, you know what, ma'am? Come on, I'll give you a ride. So I was so grateful for that. Oh my God, God is so good. So then, so in total, I've had a total of 3 hospital stays due to this spiritual psychosis. Obviously, me and my targeters both didn't learn our our separate lessons because it had happened again 1 year later. So that was the first one. So now I'm going to start talking about the second one. So the second one, the same thing happened again. Because of the first one, me not learning my lesson of stop smoking weed, stop drinking, stop drinking all that wine, and renew your faith. It happened again. And God allowed it to, see, He's real funny, right? Because if you don't learn your lesson, you are going to repeat the cycles, right? So He allowed me to repeat the shit again. So yeah, it happened again. I was feeling paranoid. I ran away with my child. I felt like people were after me. So I was walking around everywhere. My feet was hurting. I remember the water. Okay, so now I'm back in Jersey again. And I remember feeling like people were chasing me. So I ran into like this gate and there was like this big ass water tower and I climbed all the way up to the water tower. And my daughter wasn't with me at this time. She wasn't with me at this time. So I climbed all the way up to the top of the thing, but then I got scared to climb down. Same thing that happened over at those stairs that were steep. So I ended up screaming for help. Help, 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 help. Oh my God, this is so embarrassing. And then I remember the police came, they helped me. And then that's when they brought me to, I believe it was the second hospital or whatever. Also, I remember being in Brooklyn. I think I was in Brooklyn or Harlem. And I was so paranoid, clearly was not receiving any help. And I remember screaming on the street, y'all. I was literally screaming to the point where this ripped. That's how much I was screaming. And I remember the police came. And when the police came, instead of them like obviously seeing that I was in distress and I needed help, I actually punched the police in the face. It was 3 officers. I forget their name, but if I see them, I'm sure I can remember their face. I punched them in the face, and then they started fucking me up, y'all. They started beating my ass to the point where I was so scared I peed on myself. And they brought me to the hospital, and that was when I did my final hospital stay. A lot of it is a blur because it has been so traumatic. I wish I did actually forget everything. I ended up staying in the shelters, believing that I was homeless. After the release from the hospital, yeah, I was in the shelter. I also met a police where I was hanging out in the Bronx, and I met this police, and we just kicked it off. I'm not going to disclose his name or anything like that, but we actually hung out. He actually brought me to his best friend's barbecue out in, I think it was way out the way, like way out the city. And let me tell you, I didn't know he was a cop. He was dressed down. So I didn't know, but this is when I found out, right? So I'm in his car, and we about to get on the highway, right? Because we were going to hang out, and then you know how like there's sometimes be an officer in the street directing the traffic and telling people to go this way, go this way. So he pulls up to the police, to the lady officer, and then he's like, I'm sorry, but I have to do this. He turned and said that to me, and I was like, do what? He pulls out his badge. I was so fucking scared. I'm thinking like, I'm about to go to fucking jail. And he was like, nah, I'm gonna flash my badge. I am a police. I'm sorry that I lied to you, but I can't do this traffic, so I'm trying to, I'm trying to let us pass the traffic or whatever. So we ended up skipping the whole line, and we ended up going way, way, way out the way. I met his best friend's family. They were so sweet. They welcomed me with open arms. I do believe that this officer was like an angel in disguise because I was in such distress. Oh my God, I was in such distress. I just needed some food. I just needed to sit down. I just needed some water. I just needed help. And when I met him, he wanted to help me, right, at the end of the day, in his weird way that he wanted to help me, but he did. He brought me by his family, his friends, and I was able to, have a drink, have some water, have some food, and meet all these lovely people. They were beautiful. And then we actually went back to his house and actually spent the night with him. I'm not gonna lie to you, he fucked me all night. He fucked me all night, okay? I'm just gonna leave it at that. I woke up, the man was still fucking me. So, yeah, that was that. We did make plans. He did bring me back to the shelter in the Bronx, because that's where I was staying at. And, he did say we were going to see each other again. We ended up not seeing each other again, and that was that. Let's go on. I might be able to fit everything in this video. All right, let's go to page 4. Where's page 4? 3, 2, oh, that is 4. Okay, so page 4. Page 4 says, I also met a group of older guys that looked after me for a while. What does that say? And not trying to fuck me. So I was in Brooklyn. I had made it back to New York at this time, still believing that I'm homeless, but my apartment was here the entire time. But because I was going through the spiritual psychosis, when it's very severe, you just have no recollection of things. Like, you're fucking lost, So I met this group of guys in, I think it was downtown Brooklyn. These older guys, it was like 50. It was like a group of 5 of them. And they was chilling in the park, smoking, drinking, and they had music. So I walked up to them, and then they started talking to me. And then it was like, where you from? And what you doing out here this late? And things like that. And I was just like, I'm just chilling, whatever. They're like, well, you can hang out here, because they seen that I was alone, it was late, and obviously I didn't have anywhere to go. So they was like, well, you can hang out with us or whatever. And they actually bought me food. They let me smoke with them and drink with them, which I did not need because I was already in a fucking psychosis. But hey, I did end up drinking and smoking. They bought me food. One of the guys was so sweet. He was actually going to buy a hotel room for me because I told him that I had nowhere to stay. But I don't know, something happened where we ended up not getting the room. I met another guy, I don't remember where this was at, but I believe it was New York. I met another guy that invited me to his apartment because I needed to take a shower, you guys. I was running around, I was high, I was sweaty, ladies, can you imagine if you're running around for fucking 2 weeks? I was not unshowered for 2 weeks, but it was like a day or two since I had last showered. And, So I was telling him, I was like, can I come to your house and take a shower, please? Like, I haven't showered in like a day or whatever. And he was like, sure. But I was so paranoid that I ended up not. We got all the way to his building, and he was gonna cook burgers for me, and but I just felt as though he was gonna try to fuck me, so I ended up not going. I got so paranoid that as soon as we got to his building and we was about to go upstairs, I turned around and started running the other way. He was like, yo, where you going? He was like, you don't want to take a shower? I was like, nah, I'm good. So I ran away. I also remember, I think this was in Manhattan. I remember walking around preaching the word of Jesus. It was so intense to the point where there was a helicopter. Remember, this was the summertime, so it was the helicopter circling around in the sky, and I remember just preaching the word of Jesus, telling everybody, like, I'm Jesus' child, you don't want to fuck with me, I'm telling you, Jesus is real, y'all need to believe in Jesus, trying to tell them, like, how he saved my family. I was talking about, some shit I was talking about was legit, but some shit that I was talking about was like, woo woo, right? So, I remember laying on the ground, in the middle of the street, and begging the helicopter that I see in the sky to shoot me. You guys, this is fucking crazy. I laid on the ground, and I said, I dare you to fucking shoot me. Shoot me. I bet you the bullet won't hit. Well, they didn't shoot, and they were watching me too. They was right above me. I'm laying down on the street like this, like Jesus on the cross, telling them, shoot me. They didn't shoot me. They didn't shoot me. So that was God again, okay? Because if they felt as though I was a true threat, they would have took the shot. They would have tackled me and brought me in. You know what I'm saying? The same way the guy did back in Jersey on the highway when I was riding a bike. So yeah, that was that. Very embarrassing. But listen, I live today to tell the story. This shit can actually make a good ass movie if I can just like put them in sequence. If somebody can just help me put them in sequence. So yeah, I said, laid on the ground begging a helicopter to shoot me. They did. Also, I remember standing at certain bus stops. Oh, I said this already. Yeah, and the bus just kept passing me. What's crazy is this. The same lady that kept driving past me with the bus is the same lady that I seen working at the hospital in Jersey. And I'll just leave that right there. Let's go to page, I think this is 5. Met his BFF, she didn't like, okay. Met his BFF, she didn't like me. The barbecue party was cool, almost got, oh, I don't remember where this was at. I think this one was in Jersey. I felt as though people were after me and chasing me and things like that. So I was trying to like cross the train tracks, and a train was coming, yo. A train was coming fast as fuck. And I stood in the middle of the track like this, trying to get them to stop. They were not gonna stop. So my angels literally said, move. And I quickly got off the track. The train just kept going. I almost got hit by a train as well. Also, okay, so now this is when things start to like calm down a bit. I actually made it back around to New York, and I figured out that nothing actually, my baby was not unalive. She was staying with relatives, and then I basically had to work very hard to get my baby back. So I started seeing my baby. We started seeing each other on visits. My baby looked a mess. You need to hear me. When I see my baby on those visits, she was with relatives, right? So why, when I seen her, did she look a fucking mess? Hair fucked up, clothes look a fucking mess. But I stayed strong. I'm not gonna get emotional, but I stayed strong because I knew that God would bring me and her home and together and back like we never left. I never meant to cause my baby any harm. I was in distress. I was paranoid. I was under attack spiritually. By the grace of God, she finally came home, y'all. Again, because this happened twice. And I'm so grateful to still be alive and well to tell the story. The lessons that I learned during my spiritual psychosis both times is to stop smoking weed, right? By you smoking so much weed, it's pushing you back, even if you can't see that it is. So I don't know who needs to hear that. Also, never stop believing, no matter what. No matter what. I only got through all that shit by the grace of God. You need to hear me. I could have been kidnapped, snatched up, unalived. Great. So much shit could have happened to me, yo. But I was safe. I was covered, even in the wilderness, even on the street, even in another fucking city that I've never been to. I was safe. So I do want to end this with a clip of Nicki's song. If you haven't heard it yet, you should go check it out. It's called Blessings by Nicki Minaj featuring Tasha Cobbs Leonard. And in a part of the song, she goes, you gave me spiritual gifts, always afraid to use. You never leave, he says, you ain't never leave me, always receives me. That's why they can't get me. I know that he is always with me, he is always with me. I'm gonna sing it again for y'all that didn't catch that. You need to hear that. You gave me spiritual gifts, always afraid to use. Ain't never leave me, always receives me. That's why they can't get me. I know that he is always with me. Go listen to that song. Oh my God, that song is fucking beautiful. Shout out to Nicki. You know, Nicki, she's going through her own things, but nothing can take away the fact that that bitch is a lyrical genius. And I'm standing on it. I love my girl Cardi. I will never stop loving Cardi, but Nicki is a lyrical genius. So yeah, there's that. Now stay tuned because I'm going to put in the clips from my spiritual psychosis. You're going to see clips of me talking crazy, right? I'm going to look very bizarre and out my mind. I'm just praying for you all, you know? When you're on this spiritual journey, you have to keep yourself in very tip-top shape. You cannot be putting toxicities in your body. You have to keep your mind clear, of these negative thoughts. You have to cast out the demons, okay, that are trying to attack you. You have to stay positive and keep moving forward. If you are a believer and you believe that you are God's child and God will protect you no matter what, and these people don't like it. And these people don't like it, right? I'm not supposed to be here, according to these people. But I am. I made it through. Only and because the grace of God. He loves me, y'all. He loves me. I am protected. I am trusted. I am guided. I have always been. And I don't want to cry. I'm getting emotional. So I'm going to let you go. Don't leave yet. I'm going to add the clips in now. I love you all. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. Stay tuned for the clips. I'm sitting here because I'm not going out there. For what? To be abused? No. I am not. I'm God's child. I've been loved very carefully my entire life by God. Okay? I have the faith of a mustard seed. You hear me? I love the Lord. So I'm just fucking chased out here. I'm still being stalked. I'm still being harassed. Like, it's so bad that people are out here doing all kind of shit. They are fucking swapping identities and shit. Unaliving people. Like, so much shit is going on out here. And it's like, everybody is just turning a blind eye to it. And God is not happy with that shit. He's not fucking happy. People are literally being abused and people out here being evil and shit. Like, I literally have been out here. And guess what? Nobody has opened their fucking doors for me to go to the store. People are... I'm in the hospital with Wookie, okay? She's not feeling well. She's feeling weak. She's feeling dehydrated. She has a little cough, all right? I'm gonna need y'all to make them calls right now. Make them calls. Make the calls. Y'all know exactly who I'm talking to. Make them calls that y'all need to make. I'm here at my placement at 836 Fail Street. I was placed here tonight. I'm back in Brooklyn. And the security is trying to put me out, saying, why would I get on a bus if I know that I wasn't going to come in here? I told DHS that I was uncomfortable with this site. I told them that I was not going to sleep in that room after what I experienced the first night that I was here a couple nights ago. They said, okay, well, they shouldn't have a problem with you sitting in the lobby. I'm sitting in the lobby here with me and my daughter. Well, they're trying to put me out, saying that I can't sit in the lobby. So I'm calling DHS. They're not answering the phone. So I did call officers here to just see, what is my options here. If they put me out, okay, you guys can put me out. That's going to be between you and DHS. DHS will know that you guys put me out after DHS placed me here. I don't work for DHS. So I'll update you guys after the officers get here to let you guys know what's going on. And the security here is very inappropriate. The security here is talking to other clients about my business. How does that work? This is not jail. This is not the streets. Why are you talking about my business as a homeless client here in this facility with another homeless client? So basically they're putting me out. So I'm going to be leaving right now. And I want you guys to know, they said that why would I come here if I felt uncomfortable? That's not between me and him. That's between him and DHS. I told DHS my problem. DHS still proceeded to put me here. So why are you coming for me? That's my problem. So I am going to leave, right? This is being documented. I'm going to leave because they said residents live here, actual residents. If residents can't live here, I'm sitting in this lobby, then why should I be able to? Okay, so I'll leave. So there we go. Philly, I'm trying to get a room. I'm trying to get a shelter room, y'all, because I had to leave. Oh yeah, update. So, I was telling y'all that I was feeling scared and paranoid and shit like that. Like somebody was literally finna break into my room when I was at that temporary room, okay, that they put me in, okay? And somebody was literally gonna break in and they were trying to kill me, okay? So I just had a bad feeling about that. So I left the room. After I called the cops twice and the security was there too. And I left, okay? And so I was waiting in front of the facility, but then I was waiting in the lobby because, I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. So then I was like, you know what? I was like, let me just get the fuck out of here. I was like, let me go to Philly, Well, no, actually, I wasn't gonna go to Philly. I was gonna go somewhere else. But then somebody told me, oh, you should go to Philly. Philly is cheap and this and that. And, it'd be good for you to get a brand new start for you and your daughter. So while I'm out here, y'all, I've been out here for almost a day now. And I still have not been able to get home because I used a buddy to get here to Philly. So now I don't have a buddy to get back. You understand what I'm saying? So it's me and my daughter. We out here. We was waiting at the bus terminal for like hours on top of fucking hours. But, nobody was able to help or whatever. So I was just sitting around there in the bus terminal. But then I started calling around for like shelters in Philly and stuff like that. So I called around a couple. They told me to come here to this place, the Salvation One, the Salvation Army one. So I'm here, and they told me they don't have no rooms. Okay, so I find that just hard to believe because how is it a shelter and you don't have no rooms? But whatever. So she's like, oh, you gotta wait until 12 o'clock for the next shift to come in to get you a new room. So there was a white car parked outside of the shelter. I'm sitting in front of the shelter, right? Me and Wookie be sitting on our suitcases. There was a white car parked outside of the shelter here, just watching me and Wookie for like 45 minutes. So we moved over or whatever because the car was looking the man in the car was looking directly at us. So we moved over to be closer to the door. And then the shelter from New York, they ended up calling me, and they ended up calling me. So they called me and they told me that, I got a placement. So I'm telling her, well, I'm not even in New York. I had left to go to Philly because motherfuckers were fucking stalking me and shit at the facility last night. She said, oh, well, you're gonna lose your room. I said, I know that, I respect that, because I'm not there to get the room. So she just was asking me if I'm coming back and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know if I'm coming back. I just want to be safe. I literally just want to be safe for my life. I want to have peace. I want to be able to relax. You understand what I'm saying? And it's really just like, it's just sad. Is what I'm trying to tell you. It's like, come here. Whatever. So I'm trying to figure that out because I was fearing for my safety. Yeah. Talk about it. I'm really going through a lot of spiritual warfare right now. I'm just letting you guys know this process. If any of you have ever, you wait. I see that my vlog ain't about a fucking dragonfly, so wait. So if any of you guys are wondering what it's like to be in a shelter or, what's the shelter experience is very discouraging. They will continue to discourage you because they're trying to see if you're strong enough to survive here. I'm clearly strong enough to survive the shelter. I've already done it once in my life, in 3 different facilities, and that's how I got my night apartment anyway. But, yeah, y'all, I'm gonna give y'all another update. My phone is dying, so I can't talk too long. Just know right now I am in front of the Salvation Army here in Philly. I've been here since yesterday. Because it's about to be 12. I've been here since, this morning? Yeah, I left New York at 11 a.m. So I've almost been here for like 12 hours, I guess, right? I really just want to get some rest. It's a fucking peace, man. Yeah, but the car that was outside here that followed me from New York, the people that followed me from New York that was harassing me at the shelter that I was in, they drove off. Once I was on the phone with Path, and Path was telling me, oh yeah, you got a placement, and I told him, well, I'm in Philly. They drove off because I heard him. He was on the phone. He was like, yeah, I think we got her. Like, what are y'all talking about? Y'all got me. Why are y'all trying to kill me for? Y'all need to stop. Y'all seriously need to fucking stop. I didn't do nothing to none of y'all. I don't know y'all like that. You know, yeah, we had encounters and shit, but like, that's all that it was. All right, y'all really taking this whole shit to a next level. For real, y'all taking this shit to a next level. Y'all think that by killing me off, that y'all gonna receive some sort of victory or reward. You're not. I'm telling you, you're not. You're not. God sees what y'all are doing. God sees the plotting, the planning, the scheming, the lies, the hate, the jealousy, the envy, the rumors. God sees it all. And trust me, he's not fucking happy with y'all. He's not. He's not. You need to know that. So let me show y'all the dragonfly, and then I'm gonna end this, y'all, because my battery is really low. But yeah, I'm out here in Philly. Yep. Philly. This is my first time in Philly, by the way. Like actually walking the streets and stuff like that. I think Meek was performing too. I think he had a concert. But anyways, y'all, let me show you the dragonfly. Oh, you see it? That shit is big as hell. Yeah, people want to celebrate with you, but it's a fuck no. Yeah, they got hella fucking secrets. They're mad that you're queen one. They want to be queen one in reverse. Yeah, and you're gonna be happy, feasting, and joyful really fucking soon. All right, so don't lose hope. All right, you ain't got hope, you ain't got faith, you ain't got shit. All right, let's keep going. Okay. Yeah, these people are not receiving justice at this time. We got the justice card coming out in reverse. Libra energy. Yeah, they hey guys, so I still haven't made it to my final destination yet, but I'm halfway there. Okay, I'm halfway there, and that says a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna put in here. Okay, it's actually a surprise. Okay, angel, ancestors, eyes, white light, spirit, multi God. Please use me to channel the truth and honesty in this reading for a special someone. What does this person need to know at this time? Okay, what does this person need to know about their loved ones? Okay, let's do it. Hold on. Okay. What does this person need to know? Their loved ones, their lost loved ones. What does this person need to know? Talk to me, spirit. Oh, Ten of Pentacles. Major Pentacles here. Okay. Oh. Oh. Okay, what else? Oh, okay. Oh, my stomach. Okay. What else? We got 10 Pentacles in the upright, Page of Pentacles in the upright. We got 5 of Pentacles in the upright. Oh, my stomach. Oh, shit. Gotta cramp in my stomach all of a sudden. Okay. What else? What else? Oh. I just gotta be for your loved ones, your lost loved ones. Okay, let me tell you what I can. I told you to tell you. Right. Did the person you lost, were they married? Not even married. They lost someone. No, they got divorced. Okay. I mean, like, right, you don't know. Okay, so if that's the case, you don't know, right? But the cards are showing to that when the loved one cross over, they're happy because they reunite with someone. Really? In heaven. They're happy. Look at them. The blissful energy here. All the guardians, that's them. That's her helping the person. Okay, because I'm not sure my head died. Oh, even not, it could be someone that has lifetime. She wants you to know this is she, right? She wants you to know that she's happy. All right? She wants you to know that this is her right now. She feels like she got like some sort of reward, happiness, peace, fulfillment. Yes, they're crossing over. And she wants you to know too, for those that are struggling with the death, for those that have done her dirty, or your family dirty, she wants you to know that they will be out when the go. All right, don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? I know how it can be when you lose people. And it's family degree, trust me, I'm young, I've experienced a lot of death in my life. And the greenness that comes from that. They do. My God, it can tear a family apart. So God wants you to know that they know, God and your spirit guides want you to know they know that you guys had to make like hard decisions, like left, right, this or that, whatever. And but the world in your hands. Okay, so the reason why I came out in reverse like this is because the decisions that you guys had to make was hard. Hey guys, so yeah, I wanted to do a personal reading for her because go watch my previous video if you know what I'm talking about. Because y'all probably just don't watch this one and think, what the fuck is she talking about? Alright, which one people know that? Which one do they know? Hold on, y'all. Blonde's here, that's still juggling. They're still juggling. Look. Oh no. Hey guys, so it's what's today? Tuesday, June 23rd, and we just got to our facility. And yeah, we just checking in and let you know that we are here. It took us a while to go through the intake process, but we are here. And we're feeling blessed to be able to lay down and just have a couple of hours of rest. We gotta get up at 6:30. Okay, because the bus leaves at 7 o'clock. So yeah, all right. So we prayed. I wish I had a lighter so I can stage the place. I don't have a lighter, but that's okay. That's okay. Some rest. And please use me to channel the truth and honesty in this reading from my YouTube collective. I can't get it at this time. What do you want them to know? Thanks, Spirit. Hey guys, so I'm still feeling uneasy. I did call officers and I let them know, that I was feeling uneasy. So they came, they said they were gonna check out the place. But I still feel the same way, something just doesn't feel right. The kitchen window here in this room does not close. Outside the kitchen window, there's a ladder. Why would there be a ladder right outside my window? I just want to get peace. I just want to rest. So I called the officers again. So they're coming now. Right?